I was watching one of my videos back and it got me thinking really of how so many people they are lost in this world. They literally don't know their life path. They don't know their purpose for being here. And that's really why everybody's quite wayward and people can become spiteful and selfish because they literally just try and grab to any level of security they can. And they have attachment to materialism to provide some sort of validation and meaning and purpose to life. So, like, I live my life a completely different way, and it's like I said, I know my purpose, I know my legacy and prophecy and things, and I am spiritual, and I've a lot of my videos. People seeing them, you'll see the connection I have. But really, even though I am spiritual and I'm aware of that connection, I don't like. It's not necessarily I don't like forcing it on people. I just think people should be free to live their life how they choose to. So it shouldn't be sort of a mandate to fulfill your purpose or anything. You should be able to you should still be able to exist in your own way. But it's like make the most of life. But what I want to do in this exercise really is think about, for those that are not spiritual, just for a moment, consider that you are. Now, I'm not telling you to be spiritual, but it's like just consider for a moment that you are, though, just to get that perspective of your mind. Now you have a purpose. There is something you come here to do, to accomplish. So effectively, it's like live your life to your highest good at all times. Don't live a life of excuses. Any challenge, consider it an opportunity for growth, a learning exercise. It's not there to destroy you. You will be fine. Every situation, there can always be a positive outcome. Again, we don't always win the first time, and it may take a few attempts. So again, it becomes trial and error. It's not a case of you're losing anything; you're gaining an experience. And like for instance, if you just look at me, like I'm building a portfolio of content and building myself up, and I anticipate a breakthrough at some point. At least this time, when the breakthrough comes, I've got a body of work. That's what I've always focused on. But when I look at it deep enough, and again, my spiritual nature, I know path, and I know what they watch, and they're aware of our journey. But forget that. Pretend you do exist. You don't. Imagine you get back onto the other side, though. You have this human experience. Your spirit, your soul returns back to source, and you continue to live your days out in spirit rather than this physical conception. Now, think of it another way. What if you did something so great in this lifetime that it's sort of applauded on that side? They know the journey you went through. It's like you took on the challenge to come to Earth and have a human experience, and everybody in all of space and time, they know Earth is the densest planet um, out of all the planets and all the systems. It's where there's going to be an immense amount of growth, but there are incredible challenges. So you've thrown yourself into the hardest place that exists. And somehow, through all the obstacles, all the challenges, you've managed to transcend beyond it, rise like a phoenix, and start to really grow and embody your true nature. And by the time you finish your time on Earth, you've had a remarkable life. I think that'd be a life well lived, no? You get on the other side and people know the journey you went through, the trauma, the obstacles, the despair, the hardships. And I think even in this lifetime, people maybe they look on in admiration sometimes. There'll be people that are jealous. But the difference with spirit is they're not negative. And spirit has like a window of all of us. So they know what you're doing at all times. They know the obstacles you've had. There isn't a bias. Whereas people tend to have biases. Their environment dictates sometimes their behavior. So, for instance, someone that's struggling all the time, they hardly want to see someone successful because they're not successful themselves. It shines a light on their inadequacies. It's all these sort of connotations. But I can't help but think how beautiful it would be to be on the other side, knowing you did incredible. Like maybe you didn't get appreciated in life. Maybe people took you for granted. But on the other side, they never did, and they know what you've gone through. So on the other side, you are genuinely appreciated, and it'll be talked about for eternity. And I think with that mindset, it's like now with that in mind, how would you want to live your life? Is the material world really that important? Are you going to take anything with you? Or is it going to be the memories and the things you did, the accomplishments, the growth, the taking the challenges head on, taking those leaps of faith, pushing yourself outside the norm, living life on your terms? All these things. It's like you've literally, we all have a canvas to paint. And some people are happy to be carbon copies of the next person. Some people want to be originals. Some people pave their own paths. And I find that far more remarkable than the copy paste of someone else. Um, so anyway, when I consider my path up to now, I'm really, really proud of who I am. I'm proud of what I've accomplished. I've documented so much of it in my books, so anybody that's interested would know through my books. And yet there's still so much more to come. And I know, even as I've got this far, that I've managed to transcend beyond the trauma. And I have risen like a phoenix. And I'm sure my story, as it is right now, is being talked about on the other side. And, I feel I'm being cheered on. And really what I challenge other people to do is to do the same for themselves. If you're not proud of yourself, or you don't feel that anybody would be cheering you on the other side, it's like, then make life matter. Make decisions that count, and make your life something that was worth living. I think to just come here and we just get sidetracked by so many temptations. They just become obstacles, a hindrance. They literally just derail us from achieving. Imagine that you've got a massive goal to achieve. You've got an impact to have in this world. And then someone just starts waving an iPhone in your face. They offer you money. Now you think, I can buy all these little things, and my life just becomes it. It's not to say you can't have those things, but I think when you put the value of your life on that, and everything you do is to attain those things, it's like literally you've just had your whole journey, the whole experience you've just had purchased from you, effectively. A lot of people just don't even realize it, So they get to the end of life and they said, I have so many regrets. I wish I'd done this. I wish I'd done that. And it's like, how many times is someone going to tell that story at the end of their life before people start listening? But too many people hide behind ignorance. They say, I had no choice. I had to do this. I had to do. No, you didn't. The only reason you would have to is to sustain a lifestyle that you think validates some sort of status and meaning, purpose to your life. And maybe even if other people expect it of you, that's for you to set the boundary with them and say it's up to you to attain that for yourself. But I'm not a mule. So yeah, I just think a lot of people, unfortunately, they get to the end of life and they actually didn't achieve anything of worth meaning. They just got swallowed up by the consumerism, which is quite mad. And I just think, you know what, there's more to life. I consider life is about evolving our soul. I think that's the main thing. There's obviously little nuances along the way in terms of like the contribution we have to one another, and all sorts of things. How we overcome travesty, but again, that is part of evolution. So I consider it that we're all in stages in the in spirit, different frequency, different stages where you would be residing really. So we come to Earth and we can fast track our ascendancy. So you can go to easier, hospitable places in the universe, or timelines, however time envelops itself. And it maybe takes you many lifetimes to upgrade, to evolve, because there's not enough challenges to help instigate an evolution. So it's a slow process. Or you can come here and have a rapid ascension. You can literally evolve at rapid pace. But that's only going to happen really if you invest in yourself and focus on actually overcoming situations rather than get lost. So like I say, if you come here and you just get lost to technology and get lost to everything in between, you don't really achieve much with your life. There wasn't much evolution, so you just come here to have fun. When it weren't really a place to have fun, you got lost. And sadly, I just think many people get trapped. I do. I think that's what happens. And like I say, I think the main thing is to evolve. And I've even said it in my books as well, that sadly, I think some people regress. So you come here to evolve your soul, to ascend and, upgrade. And I think sometimes some people get so lost here that they get corrupted. So they come here as a certain level, and they leave worse than they started. And you think of all the growth they've got to go through and all those other lifetimes to accomplish. So in my previous video, I was asking Taro and I said about, is this my last lifetime? You know, because our natural state of being is in spirit source. It's not here on earth. We come here again to evolve or have an impact on the humanity. But I'm already having that impact on the humanity in this life. And I've overcome so much trauma and struggles. And I still, you know, manage to thrive even in the chaos now. So I am aware that, you know, I innately know how to overcome an awful lot. And I get a lot of signs as well that I'm living many lifetimes in one, and I can feel that. And obviously, I've been living it. Yeah, I've experienced a lot of different cycles here. So I did ask, is this my last lifetime here on Earth? And it came up, yes. And I was like, yeah, I thought it was. Um, yeah, so I think some of us have evolved, and we just come down for like a Hail Mary, one last experience to try and help humanity. And I believe that's what my purpose is. This isn't to posture above anyone, but we're all, on a human level, we're all going to look similar. You know, your soul is really going to define the choices you make and how you hold yourself accountable. That's really going to be where you really see a difference in people's souls, this level of their soul. People are easily corrupted, don't have much morals. They're wayward. You could argue that's an innocent soul. I think someone who has high morals, hold themselves accountable, they always face challenges head on. They have integrity and they stand for justice. I think those are the ones where you can look on and go, there's something serious about them, and they don't lose themselves to this life. And I think that in itself is an indication that they are an old soul, and some of them may very well be on their last cycle. Yeah. Anyway, and then I asked after that, am I a warrior of light? Because I already knew I was. I had a very gifted medium last year, was talking about it, and we had a channeling, and it come through that we both were, just in different ways. And so I asked again in the video I did last, and it come up again. Yes, you are. So I know I am. I'm a vessel for good, here to instigate positive change on the world. And then hopefully when I leave, I've had some sort of impact to help push humanity forward. Of course, I'm not the only one. I think we all contribute together, and I think it's important that people speak up and share their stories and share their voice. And I just think, make this life count. And that's literally how I live my life. It's like, make this life count. And, you know, I get a lot of signs that I'm ticking the boxes. I'm passing the tests. The next breakthrough's coming. So my life is all about next challenge, all these lifetimes in one. That's how I see it now. It's like literally, how many lifetimes can I fit in this one life? Ace that one, nice. Ace that one, nice. Doesn't mean it's easy. Believe me, I get a lot. It goes around in circles. A lot of freaking repetitions, a lot of trauma, a lot of heartbreak. You don't feel so special when you're going through that. But you keep your eye on the prize and just keep focused, you know. And that's what I do. And I put myself front and center like I am now. I talk. I try to help people by sharing my experiences and my thought process, and hopefully it jogs someone to also open their mind. But again, it doesn't mean you can't have things. It's just, I think it's important we don't lose ourselves to the things either, though. So, for instance, I've been talking recently, I like my gaming, and, you know, I have to get on with my next books. And it's frustrating because I haven't seen success from the current books. But, you know, my life is all about the legacy I leave behind rather than what I receive in this lifetime. Now, I have no doubt I'll be successful and I will get to live a beautiful life. It's almost like a blessing from spirit for the work that's been done in the shadows, really. Where when I wasn't getting recognition, I just kept working for them, doing what I need to do. And in the end, the wealth and things, it's nice to have that experience, especially if it's going to be one last time. Now, again, the people that are not spiritual probably think it's quite mental. But then I think it all validates. So when your time comes to an end and you realize it ain't so mental, but there's no one there to say, told you so, because no one's in their ego in spirit, you know. It's just welcome back. That's literally how you'll be appreciated, whether you believed or not. They understand that we get lost on this earth. But some of us are here, I think, to wake people up while we're all here, to their divinity. Understand that each of us is special. We just have different experiences, so we're all at different levels. And some people just need a gentle nudge to say, remember who you are. You know, there's so much you can accomplish. and you can jump timelines. You can upgrade and upgrade and upgrade. If you throw yourself into it and truly, truly invest in yourself, the the potential, it's limitless. You might not get to be a king, for instance, but you get the opportunity potentially to live a beautiful life. And then when you get your next life cycle, things will just start flowing easier because you're evolved. And I just think that's a life well lived. So I don't look on with jealousy at anybody. If I see someone's being successful, so I wish them well because I know, success takes a lot of hard work. If people have things I don't have, it's irrelevant, because I'm not here to have. But if you can have, it's nice, but it's not the barometer of my success. And again, I guess I had signs like this recently. It was saying that people have misjudged me, and they've placed the value of me upon the things I have, and they base that on my status. So let's say financially I'm struggling. Because I'm struggling financially, they don't think much of me. And yet once I'm doing really well, they're going to be shocked. And it's like, yeah, because it's still the same me that existed either side of that, no one should be defined by their income. That's just a societal value that's irrelevant. I don't want to go too far with this and go on and on. I just want to open people's eyes to the point that life has far deeper meaning than I think the majority of people live by. And it's up to you if you think your iPhone is really, you're walking around with your iPhone and the designer trainers and fancy clothes and things like that, and you're overpaid for cars and finance for the next 5-10 years and posturing with immense amount of debt to seem like you're something special. If you think that's a life worth living, that's really up to you. I just don't see the value in that at all. Clothes are clothes. A car is a car. And a phone is a phone. It's really stupid when people start to posture above. And the things they have are representative of the value of their life. It's just stupid as hell. But again, if someone thinks that's more meaningful and purposeful, then I wish them well. They might be in for a bit of a surprise when they get to their end of life review after their life expires and find they didn't really achieve much. And they'll be shown all the things that they did wrong that hopefully they'll make right next time they have a human experience. But, sometimes I think fate repeats until you break the cycle. And that's the thing. Doesn't mean you can't do it. So like if you don't break the cycle in this lifetime, there's not much to say you're likely to break it next lifetime. Although one would hope people would. But I would say you've got this lifetime now to make the most of it. So why not just make the most of it and start really thinking about all the things you could achieve for yourself and the amount of growth you can accomplish. Anyway, how do you want to be remembered? And it's not really amongst humans. That's the thing with me. It's not, I don't care how people remember me. It's how does spirit remember my journey? And what do they think of it right now? And that's how I live my life. And believe me, I have a very, very strong connection to them. And I'm aware of the praise they pass on me. And I hold myself highly accountable. I have a deep amount of respect for them. And I take my life very serious. And I just encourage other people to do the same.